Hey guys, how is it going? My name is Caleb Thornton and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at a little bit older mouse released in 2018, which is called the Razer Mamba Wireless. I just want to quickly say, if you guys are wondering why I'm not always able to cover the most new products or things that are just coming out, it's because obviously as a smaller YouTuber, I'm not having companies send me things. But also the great thing about reviewing a little older products, which I either have to purchase myself or know someone who owns them, is that not only are they great, they're usually discounted because there's been a newer model released or they're just the age of them is going to discount that price. So stick around to hear about the features, build quality, and performance this mouse has to offer. This is a wireless mouse, which also has the option of being used with the wire that's included with the purchase of it. When it is plugged in, it's going to be charging its battery and you're able just to keep on going with it, so you're not going to have to worry about having any downtime with the mouse itself. Turning the power off on it is as simple as just flipping the switch on the bottom between on and off, but even if you were, say, to forget about it and leave it on or be watching a video that's a pretty long video, you're not going to have to worry about just sitting there wasting your battery life, because after a few minutes it's going to fall asleep and then it'll just take a second to catch back up with you when you move the mouse again. Razer claims this mouse is able to get up to 50 hours of battery life on their website. Though I have not personally tested it to that exact amount of time and timed it out, I've been using it over the past few days and the battery still has been holding up really well over the time I've been using it. And anyways, for me personally, I usually plug my wireless devices in after I'm done using them, so this should never be an issue for me. This mouse does have two RGB lighting zones, one on the Razer logo itself and then one on the scroll wheel, which is pretty similar with any other Razer mice. You'll notice they follow this pattern a lot. It's really tastefully done, and the reason why they keep doing it is just because it works well. This mouse does have onboard profiles, which you're also able to switch between on the bottom of the mouse with a button there. This will remember your DPI settings on the profile, but as with a lot of other Razer products, which is kind of a bummer, it's not going to save your RGB lighting unless you have your Synapse software open on your computer while you're using the mouse itself and then switching between those profiles. One thing I usually do is I just have it start up when I start my computer up, so I don't have to worry about it and just have it going in the background. So if I'm going to be switching between those profiles, the RGB lighting's already going to be there for me. Let's talk a little bit about the shape and the size of this mouse, and I'll go ahead and throw the specs as far as the sizing and the weight up on screen so you guys can see that for yourself. This mouse is definitely going to be primarily used in a palm or maybe a little bit of a claw grip because it is on the bigger side. If you're a fan of palm grip and you like the Razer Death Adder on one of Razer's other models, I would say that you're definitely going to like this mouse. I personally use the Razer Death Adder Elite for most of my gaming time and a lot of my productivity throughout the day, and I love the feel of that mouse. I would say that this is very similar to it, just maybe a little bit more streamlined, and some of those curves that are on the Death Adder aren't quite as pronounced on this, so I'm able to get a little bit better of a grip. On the subject of the grips, that is going to be one of my main complaints with the mouse itself, is I'll get some close-up shots of these, but if you guys look at it, the ridges run horizontally along with the mouse. And the reason why it's so frustrating for me is because if you start gripping down on that, you'll notice that your fingers want to naturally slide down those grooves. So it just makes it hard. Like if you put your hand initially where you want it, you'll find that your hands just kind of slide back in those grooves because they run horizontally with it. Now this isn't like a deal breaker or something that just makes me absolutely hate the mouse. It's just something I wish they would have changed, maybe using grips more like they have on the Death Adder, which I find to be a lot better. Let's go ahead and talk about the build quality and the switches on this mouse, which I'm just gonna go ahead and give you guys a sound test now, and then we'll talk about them. As you guys can hear in that test, they are very nice, responsive and clicky with very little extra travel time, if nothing at all. There is 7 different programmable buttons on this mouse. 2 of those are going to be included as those DPI buttons, which allow you to go up and down, and those are going to be able to configured in their Synapse software where you can set your DPI personalized settings as well as customizing any of the buttons on the mouse to your liking. Taking a look at the bottom of the mouse, you'll notice that there's one skate in the back, one around the sensor, and then 1 or 2 in the front, because it does split with a gap in the middle there where that cable's plugged in. And sometimes with mice, I find this to be a little bit annoying because you'll notice extra drag right there, but so far using the Mamba, it's given me no issues as far as any abnormal drag, just for my daily use or gaming purposes. It is using Razer's 5G sensor, which is always spot on for me, and it's always been a great sensor, which is used in a lot of their different mice. Overall, I've been really loving my time using the Razer Mamba Wireless, and I think largely it is partly due to the fact that I normally use my Razer Death Adder Elite, and this does remind me a lot of that. Like I mentioned earlier though, this is a little bit more streamlined, and those curves aren't quite as pronounced on this, allowing you to get a little bit of a better grip. At the price point it sits right now for $45 with the features, build quality, and comfort, I really do think it is a steal of a deal. In fact, I think you'd have a hard time finding a mouse at that price point that's gonna be better than this, a wireless mouse that is at least. Again though, my only complaint with it is those grips. I just wish they would have chose a different style because my hand does slide back on those a little bit, but again, that's not a deal breaker. It's just something I find a little inconvenient and something you guys might want to take into consideration if you're thinking about purchasing it. I hope you guys found this video helpful and informative, and if you did, please do hit that like button and consider subscribing for more content like this in the future. As always, if you have questions about the mouse or my experience with it, leave them in the comments below and I'll try my best to get back to you. And I'll see you guys in the next one.